Friday, September 6, 1901. The Pan-American Exposition, which had made Buffalo the focus of the world's attention since its opening that May, was nearing an end. On this day, as President William McKinley hosted a public reception in the Temple of Music, tragedy struck. A man named Leon Chagas approached the president as if to shake his hand. Chagas, however, had concealed a handgun and a handkerchief and shot President McKinley twice before he was overpowered. Surgery on the president was quickly performed, but only one of the bullets was found and removed. Following the operation, McKinley was moved to a private home to recuperate. Vice President Theodore Roosevelt traveled to Buffalo when he heard of the shooting and stayed here at 641 Delaware Avenue, the home of his friend Ansley Wilcox. Initial reports concerning President McKinley's condition were optimistic, and by Tuesday of the following week, Roosevelt demonstrated his confidence in the president's recovery by leaving the city of Buffalo. He journeyed to the Adirondack Mountains to join his family, already vacationing there. Late on Friday, President McKinley's condition took a turn for the worse. Word was sent to Vice President Roosevelt. He was advised to return immediately. Rushing to Buffalo, Roosevelt arrived at about 1:30 p.m. on Saturday, September 14, 1901. President McKinley, however, had died in the early morning hours of the same day. Roosevelt was met by Ansley Wilcox at the train station and brought back to the Wilcox home by horse and carriage. Roosevelt was still wearing his camping clothes, so he borrowed a coat and hat before going to express his sympathies to Mrs. McKinley. He returned to the Wilcox home about 3 o'clock in the afternoon to take the oath of office. The crowd assembling in the library to witness the ceremony included cabinet members, politicians, community leaders, reporters, and members of the Wilcox family. At exactly 3:32 p.m., Secretary of War Elihu Root approached the Vice President.
Mr. Vice President, I have been requested by the cabinet of the late president, at least those who are present in Buffalo, all except two, to request that for reasons of weight affecting the affairs of government, that you proceed to take the constitutional oath of President of the United States.
I shall take the oath at once, in accordance with your request. And in this hour of deep and terrible bereavement, I wish to state it shall be my aim to continue absolutely unbroken the policy of President McKinley for the peace and prosperity and honor of our beloved country.
United States Federal District Court Judge John R. Hazel had been summoned to the Wilcox home to administer the oath of office.
Vice President Roosevelt, would you raise your right hand and repeat after me? I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will to the best of my ability.
And will to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States. And thus I do swear.
For almost 2 minutes, the new President of the United States stood silent.
Mr. President, please attach your signature.
The 42-year-old president then signed the oath, which was handwritten on a sheet of parchment.
I should like to see the members of the cabinet a few moments after the others have retired.
In his first cabinet meeting, held immediately, Roosevelt requested that McKinley's cabinet remain in office to demonstrate continuity in the government. To further downplay the impression of a crisis, it was also decided not to convene a special session of Congress. Later in the evening, as per his discussion with the cabinet, Roosevelt declared a national day of mourning for William McKinley. This was the 5th time that an American president had died in office and been succeeded by his vice president. Guided as much by tradition and by precedent as by law, Roosevelt had assumed office as President of the United States. Though the ceremony was not held in the customary manner or place, and though it lacked the traditional patriotic pageantry, the oath administered had been the same oath of office as repeated by all presidents since George Washington. All constitutional requirements for assuming office had been met, and in a brief, emotional, and subdued ceremony, a new presidency had begun.